Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and every day we cover crypto news, technical analysis, and we find hidden gems and we let you know about them super early. If that's your bag and you like making money in crypto, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, select all notifications so you never miss a thing. Right, so today I really wanted to just talk about everything that's happening around China. Some will say this is FUD, and you know, China have been trying to ban Bitcoin or crypto since 2012, right? So all the news around crackdowns is nothing new, right? But I kind of just wanted to talk about why China wants to undermine Bitcoin, I guess, and sort of talk through that and give you sort of my thoughts and opinions on it. So Beijing's crackdown on cryptocurrencies has obviously captured the headlines. We've seen it. I've talked about it on the show a few times. And I think this is, you know, mainly because behind the scenes, you know, its Reserve Bank is setting up its own digital currency, right? And I kind of just wanted to bring I guess, a different sort of view to this. So despite obviously the crackdowns on crypto trading and mining, and with the banks obviously trying to close down a particular company that was I guess accused of supplying software related technology to support with trading cryptocurrencies, and obviously we covered that on a previous video. I guess, you know, whilst all this is going on, there are still arguments sort of going on around the volatility of crypto, and asking, is it a sign of like fundamental weakness, or is it just like a blip in the road? And again, these questions for me come from lots of people that, you know, they've come from traditional markets, and that they're not used to a small market like the crypto market, right? And how volatile it can be. And we talk about volatility of crypto quite a lot, right? And it's one of those things you just have to currently get used to whilst it's really early in this space. The initiatives coming out of Beijing are being seen by experts as a sign of China's attempts to incubate its own fledgling e-currency and reboot the international financial system, right? So from China's perspective, that's what it looks like they're trying to do, right? The People's Bank of China aims to become the first major central bank to issue a central bank digital currency. Counterparts, I guess, are taking more of a cautious approach. We've seen this with the US, we've seen this, you know, with the UK, although most central banks have actually got like a 5-year sort of plan to get this over the line. And everybody is talking about CBDCs and how they're going to look to progress this forward. And I did mention on yesterday's video, I do kind of feel like the financial system, or the banking finance sector, is going to be hit immensely hard by blockchain. I mentioned that yesterday. And you could look at the sanctions that are used to control countries, for example. I think what we're really seeing with China currently is that they be able to sort of fight back against the US dollar, and you know, China believes that, you know, by internationalizing the yuan, it can reduce its dependence on the US dollar, and you know, I guess reduce the dominance of the US dollar globally on the banking system, right? And that is going to sort of navigate around the sanctions that, say, the US could impose on China, right? So there's a real push, and obviously this is alarming the Western governments. You know, the threat that the digital yuan, which, you know, could, like I say, you know, reduce the risk of sanctions for China. And I think this was previously discussed in last month's G7 meeting as well. And you know, clearly there's a concern there, right? So I guess another thing to sort of highlight is that there was a massive increase in the size of the crypto industry in China, and you know, it's where huge amounts of cryptocurrencies were being mined, right? And with the recent crackdown, I think it's interesting, right? This does kind of feel like it's a lot to do with control by sort of eliminating the mining there, and it's going to put more dependence on the digital yuan, right? And it's going to really support their agenda. I think there's a real feeling that they're potentially going to lose control of people, really, with digital currencies. There's privacy coins and all of this sort of stuff, right? So they're probably alarmed around all of that stuff, right? It's a lot of this is to do with control, in my opinion, right? It's I guess they're seeing it as an alternative monetary system emerging, obviously, from blockchain technology, and it's clear that it presents a danger to the Communist Party, and I think a lot of people would align with me on that, right? But let's talk about the digital yuan, right? So in China, the rollout of the digital yuan was sped up this year in tandem with the outlawing of the crypto trading in May, right? So the PBOC banned banks from doing business or providing accounts for anyone trading in cryptocurrency. So, we're seeing this a little bit from China, but particularly in Europe and UK now, we are starting to see bans on or attempted bans on people purchasing crypto through Binance, right? And I think this is a slightly different angle for those of you that were sort of going to jump on that in the comments, right? I think this is the Binance situation is different to this. It's more around the regulations of regulated activity that around surrounding e-money, right? So it's followed the outlawing of Bitcoin mining in several provinces, and the central bank has warned companies against crypto related businesses as it shut down a software firm, which we mentioned yesterday. So there's lots going on. Online businesses have been allowed to prosper in China, but the government in Beijing has been ruthless in cutting down the size if they appear to be getting too big to control. So we're starting to see this as well around China. Alibaba would be a prime example of this, right? All right, and what I want to do is just take you to another article, right? So let's have a look at this one. So I just wanted to raise this one. So again, like I personally think this is just another bit of FUD, right? So let's get into this article. Cryptocurrencies traded lower on Thursday as regulatory concerns resurface. Bitcoin broke below initial support at $34,000 and is down about 5% in the past 24 hours. The cryptocurrency could stabilize around 30,000, which is the bottom of the month trading range. There's a lack of real catalyst or market movement events right now, wrote 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀𝗪 in a Telegram chat. We expect volatility to remain under pressure until mid to late August. With BTC, we have seen some funds speculate that the lack of narrative combined with lower levels of liquidity on exchanges may lead to a pop in prices if positive headline is to occur, wrote Chris. And this is from the who's a trader at crypto trading firm B2C2. So regulatory headwinds, growing concerns from regulators have been weighing on cryptocurrency prices over the past few months. This week's China's crackdown obviously intensified. We've covered that, and they go into the details of the Bank of China, which we've just covered off, right? Like, and I've given you my opinions on that, but they're not talking about all the manipulation going on in the background. And to be honest, I do feel that there's a lot of movement that's there. It's just that, when you've got institutions borrowing silly amounts of Bitcoin and then dumping it to lower the prices, what do you expect? You've also got grayscale discount. Some analysts are not convinced that Bitcoin could receive a boost from the expiration of investors' restrictions on the sales of their shares on Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So just to sort of cover this one off, right? There's a lot of talk around this Grayscale expiration date for investors, right? It's a lockup date, so they can't sell for X amount of time, right? So this isn't they're gonna be selling. This is that date's ended, right? There's lots of talk out there that on the date that this happens, the market's gonna tank. I don't think people are waiting for this expiration date to come for, through Grayscale so they can sell their Bitcoin. I just don't think that's going to happen somehow. We've got flows shifting from stablecoin cash to crypto. So the stablecoin supply ratio, SSR, which measures the relationship between Bitcoin supply and stablecoin supply, is stabilizing after a sharp decline from the January peak. A low SSR implies high quantities of stable coins on the sidelines. And again, we've talked about this before. We've noticed this. There are people just waiting for those dips to come in, and they're going to jump back into the market. But I think they're trying to understand what is actually going on, right? So I'm not going to keep going over and over on this one. Like, I just think a lot of this is just absolute tosh. So, I kind of see a lot of this as just noise. China, they're not going to be doing themselves any favors, in my opinion, when it comes to getting rid of Bitcoin, the miners, all that sort of stuff. All it's doing for me is it's making it more decentralized. You've had that argument historically that it's a China coin because it's controlled by China because most of the mining is in China. That's dissipating now. That's going to be spread more evenly around the world, right? Than just having it centralized in China mainly. So for me, long term, it's a positive. So overall, where do I think we're going in the crypto space? So I talked about the clampdown on UK banks as I see this as not positive, but I see it as a sign of real adoption coming. And the reason for that is, first they fight it, then they embrace it, and I think that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing that stage where the banks in the UK are fighting it, but ultimately they're also going to embrace it. We already know that they're working with blockchain in the background. I mean, I've personally had conversations when I've gone to purchase crypto with my bank, which is Santander, and they've basically said that do you know what cryptocurrency is? It's risky, but it's I said it's not that risky for yourself, because I mean, at the time I was purchasing XRP, which Santander are working with Ripple, so it can't be that risky, right? So it's one of those. I kind of feel like we're going to start to see some real adoption, and July and August I think are going to be particularly good months for the crypto space. We're going to start to really see that price discovery can continue in a positive way. I just think that there's a lot of FUD at the moment. There's a lot of manipulation. We understand that there's plenty of stable coins sat on the sidelines waiting to get into the market. I think people are just a little bit nervous that if they get in now, it's going to drop a little bit more due to some more manipulation. And let's be honest, institutional investors, they're dumping on the market. They're reducing the price of Bitcoin. On top of that, you've got miners in China that are having to move and set up shop somewhere else. They will be dumping some Bitcoin, that's for sure, to fund that move. And all of this is a recipe to have a volatile market at the moment. And I think once those miners have moved and settled down, I kind of feel like we're going to start to see that price discovery. And that's my thoughts and opinions on everything to do with Bitcoin currently as it stands. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button. It really supports the channel, supports the algorithm and all that sort of jazz, and just helps push out the content to more like-minded individuals. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the bell select all notifications so you never miss a thing. Right, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.